We've been keeping an eye on a developing story today that involved QPR and Coventry players not taking the knee in their game on Friday night. And I think they felt that there was some criticism that came their way, to which the QPR Director of Football, Les Ferdinand, who we all know, making a statement publicly earlier today. He says this should not be about QPR. Many clubs did not take the knee on the opening weekend, yet this was not reported. Taking the knee was very powerful, but we feel that that impact has now been diluted. In the same way, he says, Clap for Carers was very emotional for us all. It got to a stage where it had run its natural course and the decision was rightly made to stop it. Does that mean that we don't care or appreciate our NHS workers? Of course it doesn't, he says. The taking of the knee has reached a point of good PR, but little more than that. The message has been lost. It is now not dissimilar to a fancy hashtag or a nice pin badge. What are our plans with this, he asks. Will people be happy for players to take the knee for the next 10 years, but see no actual progress made? Taking the knee will not bring about change in the game. Actions will. Those are the powerful words from Les Ferdinand earlier, Micah. What do you make of that when you heard that?
Look, you know, he's had a very strong opinion, and I've heard him talk about racial issues before, and he speaks very well. But it's difficult, isn't it? He's got his opinion, and I respect his opinion, but at the same time, you know, Premier League is one of the biggest leagues in the world. Now, to some people who don't understand, even if you got, you know, the players take it beforehand and go down on the knee, people are going to start to ask questions. And yes, we all want more action. Of course we want more action. We want equality. But it's not going to happen overnight. So when he says he wants more action, I'm totally with him. But this is something that's been happening for hundreds of years, and it's not going to change overnight. I think it's getting better. There's been so many people who have come out, not just black people, white people as well, and talked about issues that maybe a couple years ago they would feel uncomfortable about talking about. So, yes, I agree, it needs more action, but at the same time, even if kneeling helps one people or changes just one person's mind, I still think it's the right thing to do. How long we kneel for is the question. I mean...
And what's the answer for that? Because at the Premier League level, there seems to be a directive where all the clubs, the officials, will be taking the knee before every game, but there has been no directive from the EFL. I think the frustration is for clubs at that level is that whose decision is it ultimately, and how long do they do it for?
Look, again, it's a magic question. How long do you want to do it for? But for me, you've got to do it until, you know, everyone agrees. It's such a... You know what the problem is? Sometimes it feels like it's been forced on people, and it's almost turning people the other way. Like racists, like white people now, feel like they're getting tarnished with the racist brush, and that's not fair, you know what I mean? And, you know, you read your Instagram, you read your Twitter, and the first thing, oh, why am I getting tarnished with that brush? Do you know what I mean? So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Everyone's got their own opinions on how things can change. But for me, I think we just all need to work together. We all need to understand that there is a problem, not just at the lower level, at the top level. And, you know, if a black person or ethnic minority wants a chance, they've got to put themselves forward. Look, you know, I'm here working for Sky Sports, one of the biggest, you know, networks, corporations in the world. And I'm here because I believed in myself. I love football. I love working with Jamie. I love working with yourself. And, you know, I'm in a privileged position. And I did this through hard work. And it's not, you know, the hard work that I put on is not going to be tarnished.
But do you feel that the perception of you has changed through the Black Lives Movement?
Yeah, I've got people on Twitter, I've got people on Instagram. Oh, Micah Richards only on because of this whole Black Lives Matter movement. But I've had conversations with corporations that I worked for way before this, and now I'm getting tarnished with the same brush. Oh, he's only on TV because of Black Lives Matter, which is disheartening for me because I put in the work. I work every single day at my craft. I've been a professional footballer. I've won a Premier League. I played at the highest level, and I'm still getting stones thrown at me. You know what I mean? So if I've got to fly the flag, if people want to throw stones at me, I'll happily take it because I know I put in the work.
Well, we absolutely love having you with us, Micah, and you're always welcome. And it's the same for Alex Scott, who's had the same things thrown at her, but she's one of the best broadcasters out there.
She's absolutely incredible. One of the best I've ever worked with. And it's even worse for her because she's a woman and she's seen as black as well, which is double jeopardy. She's in a worse position. You know, she's honestly one of the best pundits I've ever worked with. And all you see on Twitter and Instagram, what is a woman doing working in the men's football? She doesn't know. She's made how many times for England? She knows football inside out more than most people. And to see the abuse that she gets from just because someone's left their job or not had their contracts renewed, it's disheartening to see. But at the same time, it just shows we've still got a problem. And, you know, it's that awkward conversation that we all don't want to have, but we've got to have the conversation.
Exactly. We've got to keep having those conversations. Well said, Micah. Thank you very much. Alex is a brilliant broadcaster as well.